Stories tonight in Y News. Malacanang suspends work in government offices and classes at all levels in 3 regions on July 25, Thursday, due to the effects of southwest monsoon and Typhoon Karina. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. immediately calls upon the relevant government agencies to assess the government's response to the areas affected by flooding due to continuous rainfall. Metro Manila has been placed under a state of calamity due to widespread flooding. And we will discover why the head of United States Secret Service, Kimberly Schittel, announced her plans to resign through an email to the staff on Tuesday, July 23. Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Wednesday, the 24th of July, 2024. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Joselito Liquido. First in the news. Malacanang has suspended work in government offices and classes at all levels in Regions 3, 4A, and National Capital Region on July 25, Thursday, due to the effects of southwest monsoon and super typhoon Karina, and to the aid in the rescue, recovery, relief, and rehabilitation efforts of the government and private sector. According to Presidential Communications Office, those agencies whose functions involve the delivery and the basic health services, response to disasters and calamities, shall continue with their operations and render the necessary services. The suspension of work for private companies and offices is left to the discretion of their respective heads. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. immediately called upon the relevant government agencies to assess the government's response to the areas affected by flooding due to continuous rainfall. PBBM ensured that immediate assistance would be provided to the affected families, especially in remote and hard-to-reach areas. Nel Maribuhok reports.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. ordered on Wednesday, July 24, the Office of Civil Defense or OCD and other agencies to identify communities still unreached by government aid. During the situation briefing at the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, PBBM stressed reaching out to isolated areas is a priority.
Importante yun kasi yung mga yan hindi na kumain na ng ilang araw eh. So as soon as possible, dapat naka-ready na yung ipapasok natin. Because we know that they are the priority and critical ang situation nila. Of course, those who we are providing assistance to outside of the evacuation centers.
The Department of Social Welfare and Development assured that there are sufficient prepositioned relief goods and standby funds ready for those affected by the calamity.
Currently, we have a total of around more than 1 million FFPs and other food items and non-food items with a total standby funds plus stockpile funds of 2.6 billion.
Meanwhile, President Marcos tasked concerned government agencies to warn and support communities first before releasing water from dams, especially in Luzon, to avoid accidents and loss of lives.
Have they opened it already?
Mahal na Pangulo, yung Info and Binga Dam ay nag-open na po. Pero 5 a.m. po kanina ay nag-abiso po ang pagkakalapit po sa mga region.
Doon sa mga areas na abutan. And but nabisuhan lang o napadala natin ng tulong na para pag-evacuate. That's what we need to do kasi just being warned is not enough. They have to be moved to a safer place at least hanggang bumaba ang tubig.
Department of the Interior and Local Government Secretary Benjamin Abalos Jr. told the President that it should be part of the protocol to warn downstream communities of an impending water release from dams. Nel Maribuho, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Thousands of residents are forced to evacuate in San Mateo, Rizal as the river along the San Mateo-Batasan Bridge has reached a critical level. As of 5:30 p.m., the water level at the San Mateo-Batasan Bridge is 23.74 meters. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
Since early morning, hundreds of families from several barangays in San Mateo, Rizal have already been evacuated. Some of them live near the San Mateo-Batasan Bridge. As of 5:30 p.m., the water level at the San Mateo-Batasan Bridge has reached 23.74 meters, prompting forced evacuations in barangay nearest to the bridge. Among those evacuated are residents who live along the river. Their plea to the government is for assistance because almost none of their belongings were salvaged. Their houses are already submerged in flood waters.
Sana po, makita nila yung kalagayan namin at mabigyan kami kahit konting tulong lang po.
Sana po matulungan po kami kahit po man lang sana po sa pagkain ngayong araw na to.
Ano na po yung bahay din. Puno na rin po. Ano po sana tulong po sa pag-ano po ng bahay.
The local government continues to conduct rescue and relief operations led by the Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office for residents affected by the inclement weather conditions. Meanwhile, several roads in San Mateo, Rizal are impassable for light vehicles. Rosalie Cos, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Office of the Vice President has significantly ramped up its relief operations in response to Typhoon Karina. Through its Disaster Operations Center, or DOC, the OVP has mobilized relief suppliers and prepared hot meals for distribution in areas impacted by the typhoon, with a focus on the National Capital Region and Region 4A. The relief packages being distributed include food items, hygiene kits, blankets, sleeping mats, mosquito nets, slippers, expandable water jugs, and other essential necessities. The OVP's DOC is at the forefront of all disaster response efforts, coordinating closely with local disaster risk reduction and management councils, or DRRMCS. Additionally, the OVP DOC is actively working with various local government units in the affected regions to ensure the effective delivery of aid. And for the news abroad. Days after facing criticism and pressure from U.S. lawmakers over the assassination attempt against former U.S. President Donald Trump, the head of U.S. Secret Service, Kimberly Schittel, announced her plans to resign through an email to the staff on Tuesday, July 23. Criticisms were swirled against Kimberly Schittel over the security protocols of the agency during Trump's rally in Pennsylvania on July 13. Answers were demanded at the U.S. Congressional Committee hearing on Monday, July 22, to explain what measures the Secret Service had in place in light of the findings that the gunman had direct line of sight of the rally stage from a rooftop. In response to the lawmakers at the House Oversight and Accountability Committee hearing, Schittel said that the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump on July 13 is the agency's most significant operational failure. In her email to the staff, Schittel further expressed that she takes full responsibility for the security lapse, will be stepping down as Secret Service Director. Meanwhile, U.S. President Joe Biden thanked Schittel for her public service for decades. U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas had appointed the Secret Service Deputy Director Ronald Rowe as the acting director. We'll share more global stories with you later. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And in other global news, Delta Airlines is now facing investigations as to how to compensate its customers during flight delays and cancellations. Early Briones will tell us why.
An IT outage that took place mid-last week affected over 8 million Microsoft computers around the world and caused 6,600 cancelled flights and halted banks and media operations as well. Due to the incident, United States regulators are looking into how Delta Airlines will compensate its affected clients. Delta used to be the best U.S. airlines even after the pandemic season. United States regulators are concerned that Delta has been observed to have increasing numbers of complaints in relation to failure to deliver satisfactory customer service. According to Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, consumers have the right to be treated fairly. U.S. regulators come up with this action as 2/3 of the canceled flights all over USA are under Delta Airlines, as recorded by the tracking platform FlightAware. Delta and its Delta Connection partners officially declared that they will help with the investigation. Delta admitted that their system is mostly run by Microsoft Windows, and that includes pilot and flight attendants rostering system. Thus, the company was unable to cope with the volume of changes that was affected by the outage. 6,600 Delta flights were cancelled due to the outage, and the number difference from the other airlines are significant. The investigation will concentrate on Delta being compliant to federal rules and giving proper and just compensation to its passengers who experienced flight delays or worse, cancellations. Early Briones, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
In her first White House campaign rally in Wisconsin, United States Vice President Kamala Harris sharply criticized Donald Trump. This sets a stage for what appears to be the November election showdown between a former prosecutor and a proven lawbreaker. Harris likened her Republican opponent to fraudsters she has prosecuted in the past. Her remarks came just a day after securing the majority support of Democratic delegates, solidifying her status as her party's nominee. In response, Trump branded Harris a liar and condemned her actions regarding the border.
I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Predators who abused women, fraudsters who ripped off consumers, cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type. And in this campaign, I promise you, I will proudly put my record against his any day of the week.
The British Broadcasting Corporation, or BBC, will reduce its workforce by 500 positions over the next 20 months. This move is aimed at saving approximately $258 million or 15 billion pesos. This latest round of layoffs is part of the British Public Service broadcasters' effort to address lower funding and the impacts of inflation. And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. Metro Manila has been placed under a state of calamity due to widespread flooding caused by effects of continuous monsoon rains and Typhoon Karina. Ryan Lacanlale details why.
During this afternoon's meeting of Metro Manila Council, 12 out of the 17 city mayors participated. All attendees unanimously agreed to declare a state of calamity in the Metro Manila.
There's a motion to declare Metro Manila in a state of calamity by Mayor Francis Zamora and by Chairman Don, seconded by Mayor Lani Cayetano. The motion is hereby approved that Metro Manila is now in a state of calamity.
It's important to note that mayors of Malabon, Marikina, Valenzuela, Las Piñas, and Parañaque were not able to attend the meeting. However, according to the ILG Secretary Benhar Abalos, their absence does not indicate a lack of support for the declaration.
Obviously, it's Malabon na medyo may problema. Of course, Marikina, si Mayor, may problema. Valenzuela, malaki din ang problema. Now, of course, affected din ang Las Piñas and Parañaque. I'm sure makikiisa sila rito.
With this declaration, local government units in Metro Manila can now utilize their respective calamity funds to expedite response effort for those affected by the widespread flooding. One of the hardest hit areas is Quezon City, where approximately 22,000 individuals, equivalent to 7,231 families, have been evacuated to evacuation centers. Additionally, 30 major roads in Quezon City are impassable, and 80 out of the city's 142 barangays are already submerged in floodwaters.
So meron po kaming mga evacuation centers talaga, pero napuno na po ang mga ito. Kaya napilitan na po kami gamitin ang mga simbahan, ang mga covered courts, ang mga barangay hall, ang mga paaralan. So, evacuation center na gamit na po natin.
They have also requested assistance from the Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, for the relief operations in evacuation center and additional rescue boats. Navotas is also heavily affected, with 80% of the town experiencing flooding, and some areas have water level surpassing human heights. The floodway in the area was already damaged before the typhoon struck, worsening the situation.
Ito kasi po ang nakikita kong problema ngayon, no? Marami tayong evacuees, probably from Marikina, from Manaba, nakita ni Mayor Joy 22. Siguro magtulungan na lang tayo just in case hindi kayanin ng LGU yung evacuation. I could task MMDA right now na tignan yung ibang optional sites na po pwede at makisuyo sa ibang LGU hindi masyadong affected, yung mga neighboring. Magtulungan na lang po dahil I could just imagine kung dumiretso ito, kung saan tayo maglalagay ng tao.
In response to Typhoon Karina's onslaught, Malacanang has suspended work in government offices and classes at all levels in the National Capital Region, Central Luzon, and Calabarzon. In addition to Metro Manila, several other areas in the country have been placed under a state of calamity, including Pinamalayan in Oriental Mindoro, Cabacan and Pikit in Cotabato, and other area in Abad Santos, Davao Occidental. Ryan Lacanlale, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Super Typhoon Karina has intensified and is now about to make landfall over northern Taiwan. According to 5 p.m. bulletin from the Weather Bureau Pag-asa, the center of the eye of Super Typhoon Karina was estimated to be 380 km north of Itbayat, Batanes. Forecasts indicate that rainfall will be generally higher in elevated or mountainous areas, raising the potential for flooding and rain-induced landslides. Karina is packing maximum sustained winds of 185 km per hour near the center, gustiness of up to 230 km per hour, and central pressure of 930 HPA. Tropical cyclone wind signal number 2 is in effect for the province of Batanes, while signal number 1 has been raised for the Babuyan Islands and the northern portion of the mainland Cagayan and the northern portion of Ilocos Norte. Furthermore, the southwest monsoon enhanced by Karina is expected to bring moderate to intense rainfall over various localities in the western portion of Luzon from today through Friday. The Public and Disaster Risk Reductions and Management Office advised to take all necessary measures to protect life and property. Our kasangbahay. As the world faces these trying times amid various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament, there is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
And before we close, we will leave you with a word, giving glory to God. From the book of Psalms, chapter 69, verse 30, it says, I will praise the name of God with a song, and will magnify Him with thanksgiving. And those are the reasons behind the news, July 24, 2024. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. And because we need to know, we will always ask why. I'm Joselito Liquido, live from Malaysia. We serve the people, we give glory to God.